So I was in the shower, I was cleaning my ass and making all sure it's all sparkly, spanky clean.
I'm not the funny one, I'm the pretty one.
Cock shots. I just checked myself out.
Candles, music, wine, and then lube up and get on top.
The glory hole's like like Dick Theater. I've imagined your friend.
Which means your pants had better come off. Mama needs playtime.
We're not sluts.
We just love love. Hello, podcast listeners. We're back. This is Angela.
This is Bradford.
Yeah, thank you for joining us for another week here at By the By.
You betcha.
Yeah.
We are currently living in squalor.
Our apartment basically looks like a storage unit at the moment.
Yes.
We're moving next.
Actually, it looks like a storage unit. Fucked another storage unit. They aborted the baby, and then it exploded all over.
That could be an accurate description.
Remember that time you pulled that glitter lube out of your vagina? It looks like that, only with stuff.
Yeah. We're moving in a couple days, so yeah. There's we've been furiously packing. We have a lot of shit.
Yes.
Like, who would have thought?
Yes.
But we do.
So I know people are curious at home as to. One, would all of our sex toys and accoutrements, not wearables, not swings and slings, would they fit in a single suitcase? So ladies and gentlemen at home, make your guess now. Is that possible or is it impossible? And the answer is...
It is possible.
Ooh, all right. Now we have guess the weight of said suitcase. How much does that suitcase weigh? Ladies and gentlemen at home, make your guess. And what is the answer?
The answer is 17.5 kilos.
17.5 kilos.
Are you doing the conversion to
I am
pounds?
going to keep the conversion because I'm a nice guy. And that answer is, oh my God, 38 and a half pounds.
Yeah.
So nearly 40 pounds worth of
Yeah. That's the
sex toys.
Toys and floggers. So it's not the swinger, sling, and wearable things, that kind of thing. But
also,
yeah.
it's not everything because I've got some in my suitcase go bag, toys that I like.
That's why I said most.
So we'll say we probably have about 40 pounds.
It's also not the fleshlight.
That's pretty heavy as well. I need a new one of those.
Yeah. Yeah, we have talked about that, haven't we?
Yeah, we have. So there you go.
Black Friday sale.
Oh my God, I bet they do.
Yeah.
Hell, I may splurge and get a lunch.
What?
That's the automatic fucking thing. I mean, at that point, do I even need you?
Only to pack, apparently.
That's touche. Yes, I just want to give Angela mad props for the amount of work she's done this weekend.
You've done a lot, too.
I've done
you took a nap.
I've done the vast majority of the kitchen, but then I napped and freaked out and had panic attacks and, good stuff.
But
awesome.
the kitchen is your domain.
Fortunately, the gentleman came over and he's a superstar.
Yeah.
At least one of your male partners is a handyman. I'm just a handsy man. He's a handyman. He's also a handsy man.
I was going to say, he's handsy too. Yeah.
Damn it. So, yeah, good times. Okay, moving forward.
Yes.
What else do we have going on? So we're moving. Yay. This is going to be a weird episode.
Yeah. Yeah. So
see, even the bird agrees.
This is going to be kind of a two-parter.
Yeah.
And so the first part is,
I think she just said shut up.
She's pretty mouthy, isn't she?
Yeah.
It's past her bedtime, too.
Yeah, she's doing a little head bob thing. She's like, shut the fuck up. So it's going to be a two-parter. The first part is going to be a very common question that listeners have asked us multiple times, and sometimes in person. So not listeners, just personers.
Personers?
Personers, people who person. You know what? The peanut gallery can shut the hell up. I'm funny. All right, let's try this again. Then the second part with a quieter borb.
Yes.
Quiet borb. And the second part of this podcast was recorded in...
outer space.
Luke, this is your podcast. This is the podcast you're looking for. Oh my God, I sound like Mr. H. I'm referencing movies that everybody knows, and they're like, "Shut up! Just tell us what."
You spent too much time around them.
Not possible.
I don't know. Today, while we're packing, I went to pack a box like you do, and I came back to 48 messages between you guys,
and like 5 videos, at least maybe 6. Look, I was working. I was outsourcing. No, we recorded with the beautiful Mr. and Mrs. H from the Bedhoppers and with the gentleman.
Yes.
In Desire, on a bed, on the last possible time we could do it.
Yes.
Which was the morning we all left.
And right before checkout.
Before checkout. In fact, we were late to check out because we were recording this podcast.
But yeah, it was basically a 30-minute overview of kind of our final thoughts on Desire.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, just like what's the best parts?
What stands out? Yeah.
She's starting again. She wants to be a regular podcast.
I know.
She wants to be a podcast guest. We just need to come up with a,
We need to give her a catchphrase.
A kinky catchphrase. So, like,
so she can just come in at certain times.
Yeah.
We'll cue her in.
Oi, cunt. Would probably be what it'll be.
Yeah.
So let's start with the listener question.
Yes.
What is this question?
So the one thing that we get asked very frequently is
Can we fuck you?
Well, there's that. Yes.
We get that all the time. I got Twitter messages like, show me your bubs. Like, really?
Do you show them your bubs?
I do not show them my bubs.
Do you show them other people's bubs?
I don't show them anyone's bubs. I delete them.
Like, just do a Google search, bubs, and what's the first thing that shows up?
True.
Yeah.
True. I should send them blue-footed boobies.
You should, yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So the question that we get asked quite frequently is referring to particularly dating sites, online dating, when you start talking to people, couples, individuals, whatever. Do you send pictures?
Dum, dum, dum.
And even before that, but when you are making a profile on a dating site, do you upload pictures? And I think most people feel almost exclusively that you have to. So then if the answer is yes, on a dating site that you put pictures up, what kind of pictures should those be? And then once you start talking to somebody, if they're asking for pictures or if you feel like you want to send some, what's the level of appropriate? And, I mean, that opens up a whole can of worms, so let's just start getting into it and then kind of go from there.
Yeah.
So let's start with setting up a profile on a dating site.
Okay.
Because I think that most people would be in agreement that, yes, you should have pictures.
I think you should have some picture, the standard, like, little ghost icon or avatar that they give you. I won't even look at if you send me a message, I'll be kind and read the message. But if I see that your profile doesn't have any pictures at all, then I will,
Yeah. And so for many people on dating sites, that picture is not going to be a face picture.
No.
That will often come later, but it won't be very first thing. And I think that's fair.
Sure.
I don't have a problem with that.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, we have our faces out there, but most people don't.
Right.
And that's completely fine. What I want to see in like the initial pictures is not nudes.
Oh, God.
I don't want to see nudes. I don't want to see genitalia.
Nope.
I don't want to see any of that.
So, yes. Once again, even if you send us a message and your profile has, like, it's nothing but close-ups of boobs, cocks, and vagina, and the occasional asshole, I ignore your message, or will say, thanks but no thanks, and I block your profile.
And again, this is all our opinions and our perspectives. And
if that's the way you roll, then good for you.
Yeah.
But I'm going to tell you that quality begets quality. And you tend to get what you put out there. And if that's all you're looking for, my question is always, when you sit, like these fellas who start with a cock pic, if that is your greatest defining piece of equipment...
I was going to say asset, but it's not. It's a cock set.
Oh, cock set. Oh, my God. If that is your greatest asset, then you and I have nothing in common. And yeah, that's a sad place to be.
Yeah. But when it comes to like profile pictures and kind of the first set of pictures that I see from somebody, I want to see a bit of personality. And so I want to see, I mean, it can even just be a picture of you going out, dressed up, doing something. It doesn't have to be dressed up, but doing something that you enjoy. If you like being outdoors, show a picture of you being outdoors.
Yeah.
But yeah, just something that shows a bit of personality, a bit of your interest in there. Yeah.
Show some depth.
Yeah.
And so the question then is, what about our faces? Mm-hmm. There are so many things you can do with your faces. I will say one thing that I tend to not like is people who just put big black, white, or some color circles over the face. Spend the extra $2 to get an app that you can blur out your face. That would be my top advice. Or put emojis over your face. Though that to me is okay, because again, then you're getting some personality.
Yeah. Also, besides blurring out the faces and emojis, there are so many apps these days that allow you to put stickers on things.
Yes.
And the stickers can be so varied and personal. And so if there's, a sticker range that rings true to you, like for you, Bradford, it might be like a fox. And so you could put a fox on there. But if there's so much you can do with the stickers that still portrays your personality. I think that's kind of a fun way to do something different with your face if you don't want to show it.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I'm okay with landscapes. I'm even okay with vehicles. Look, again, show us something that says something about who you are.
Yeah.
I always caution against pet photos, just because, look, you're tugging at the wrong heartstrings.
Yeah. Also, if you do show your faces, smile.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Yes.
A smile says a lot.
A smile completely changes a picture.
Yeah.
The number of times we've gotten pictures of people and it's just like, oh, why did they take a picture and they were angry? Look, yeah, it's in your whole thing was like, oh, I don't like the way I look when I smile or whatever. It doesn't matter. If you're not smiling, you look angry.
Yeah. And admittedly, we want to be around and meet up with positive people. And if you're not smiling, then that doesn't really give us a positive impression.
Does not bode well for your positivity.
Yeah.
So, yes, agreed. Smile. What else? Other advice? Look, little things that I've seen that always turn me off are always in the background of photos. So let's say you take a mirror selfie. Mirror selfies are absolutely okay. If you're in your bedroom, please don't have piles of clothing. The picture.
You can have them. Just shove them out of the view of the
Absolutely.
camera.
I mean, our bedroom, if we took a picture in it half the time, we have to strategically move things or take different angles so that we get a, air quotes, clean bedroom. But look, if you see chaos and mess in the background of somebody's house, or like if the toilet seat is up, which I know is a little thing, but it's so easy just to put the fucking toilet seat down. Yeah. That tells me that you are not someone who has an attention to detail. And if you don't have an attention to detail, or a good attention to detail, then I don't think you're going to be able to sex me in the right way. I'm just putting it out there.
Interesting, yeah.
You are chaotic neutral, and you just like, I don't care, I'm just here to have fun.
Yeah.
I'm here for the lulls, as the kids say.
Okay, so once the profile's set up, we meet somebody, we move over to Kik or some other app for messaging.
Yes.
Do you send pictures? What's your viewpoint?
So my attitude is this. Every time a shutter clicks, I expect that picture, everyone on Earth will see it. Everyone from the Prime Minister, Prime Minister, to the Queen, to my parents, to, if I'm a church person, to my priest or who else runs a church? Reverend, pastors? Or is that where cows go?
That's pastures.
To Louis Pasteur. All of these people.
Unless you're talking about a Pasteur pipette.
Oh, that's true. Like Louis Pasteur.
Yeah.
All of these people and more will see the pic. So any pic that you send, think about your grandmother. If your grandma doesn't smile. Anyway, no.
I think that's a good way to think about it, because
your children. Sorry. I mean, everyone will see it. Your child's first grade teacher.
And it doesn't necessarily mean immediately, but you can... It's good to go into it with the expectation that it could get out there someday, somehow, somewhere. And if you don't want that picture to potentially be out somewhere, then you really shouldn't send it.
Yes.
You can say that you really trust the person, the group, or whatever, but you never know where things are going to go in the future. And I know that you don't want to think about that, but it's the truth. If somebody decides to do something malicious with it, they have it. If something gets hacked, somebody gets a hold of something, you never know what's going to happen. Once it's taken and once it's sent, it's always there somewhere in the ethereal internet.
Yeah.
And it's possible it could get out. Is it likely? No. But it is possible.
But it
so
does
you have
happen.
to be prepared
Yeah.
for that possibility.
So, and I think it's important to just be aware of that.
Yeah.
Because like you said, it's if you've made good choices in people, and even though we've made good choices in people, I'm
Yeah.
sure that there are some people out there that if I could remove the pictures from, I would. And that's knowing that half the pictures of us are on the internet already.
Right.
But yeah, I think it's important to sort of have that realization that the picture can get out.
And it's not to say not to do it.
No,
absolutely.
gosh, no.
If you,
I mean, we do it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm definitely not saying not to do it.
But I also think as well, when you're looking at what pictures you do send, and again, it depends on who you're talking to, what you're looking for, the relationship that you have. But for us, we don't typically send like full-on nudes or anything too risque. It's usually cheesy shots of us doing something
While
crazy
naked.
or sometimes while naked. But it's not, I don't know, it doesn't have to be. Like, it can just be it could be a face picture. It could be of just you with a glass of wine. It could be something. But pictures are good to keep that connection with someone and to establish a base of reality and to show that, yes, I am a real person. I have real interests. Look, I'm doing this, or I'm doing this and I thought of you. That kind of thing. I think it's really good for that. It is good to kind of build that connection and build that relationship. But it doesn't have to be you having sex to do that. So I think just realizing that it doesn't have to be super risque and really pornographic to be a good picture to send to somebody.
Yeah. And again, I do like pictures. And one of the things I love is, so Mr. and Mrs. H of the Bed Hoppers, anybody who knows our podcast or their podcast knows that we're friends. We will often send videos.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to send and these are always clothed videos. It's always him or I goofily singing, or telling jokes or whatever. And what I like about that is it does sort of make you feel like you're included in the group.
Yeah.
Which I guess is silly when it's a group text already, but it does make it feel like that you're there because you're.
But also with that relationship, there is a bit of distance. And so
True.
there isn't going to be, I'm going to say maybe a regular meetup, but that regular might be once a year.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a frequent meetup with them. And so I think that changes things as well. But quick little videos are also great ways, like you said, to stay in touch with people.
Yes, I like little videos.
Yeah.
But again, any video that you send, make sure that you're comfortable with your children or your grandparents seeing it.
Yeah. And also be cognizant of who else might be in there. And that same should be said for pictures as well. If you ever send a picture out with somebody else in it, make sure you have their consent.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. So, yes. So then it's like, okay, how do you take a good picture?
No,
I was asking, how do you take a good picture?
First of all, you have a really good camera.
Oh my God! Look, we all have amazing cameras in our pockets nowadays, and it's really funny. So, off subject a bit, I was recently at something where a couple of DSLRs, so digital single lens reflectivity, I think is what that stands for. It's really nice cameras that all the professional people use. So, a couple of those were there, and an iPhone was there, and people were taking pictures with all of them. And come to find out, the best pictures came from the iPhone. So I'm not touting the iPhone, but any pocket phone is going to give you pretty good pictures.
Just saying that does just as good as any other camera these days. Yeah.
So I will say things that I like are if it's a couple. Let's use the couple example for to start with. I like candid shots.
Yeah.
So occasionally we'll get a picture where the male or female of the couple will take a picture of their partner and the partner's not even looking at the camera. They're looking at something else. And there's something really nice and soft about that. I really like those. I also like those when they're nude.
It shows you the other person through that person's lens.
Yeah, exactly.
So, yeah, it gives you a perspective of what's special between them, which is really, really lovely.
Yeah, I really like that. I like pictures of people getting ready. I think I've sent a few pictures of you doing your makeup in the mirror. I think there's something so sexy about that. I love it. Most of the time you're wearing like a bra or nothing, and I just really like that. So, I think pictures, candid shots, action shots, those are always nice. If you're looking at nudes, I always say we almost always look best when we're laying down.
Yeah, I would say laying down. And also there again, less can be more.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the suggestion of something can really be a lot hotter than just actually be like, oh, look, here it is.
Yeah.
Because then you have that anticipation. And I think that's what it is to build that anticipation. You don't want to give it away too soon.
Yeah.
That's my opinion.
I agree completely. And, I still say, while I don't mind a short video of sex, I don't think stills of sex ever look good.
Yeah.
Especially if one or the other persons who is having sex is taking it. It never looks good. We don't have long enough arms to make it a good angle. Now, if a third person is in there and they're shooting for you, then maybe it might work.
Yeah.
But
I'm trying to think of the logistics of this, but yeah.
Now, I will take videos for me of us having sex, but those are specifically for me.
Right.
And my favorite position for that is doggy, because then they can see like all of the ass region. So I'm a big fan of that. But again, I'm not looking for that in a partner. Right. I'd rather see the real thing than get a picture.
Yeah.
So then, which I guess would lead to the question is, one of the things, if you're male, or possibly if you're male, but definitely if you're female, you've gotten a cock shot.
No.
I know.
That doesn't happen. It's only in movies.
Yes, terrible, terrible movies.
Yeah.
So then, I'm going to say flatly, cock shot works 1% of the time. And that 1% of the time is only on apps like Grindr, Scruff, Boy Ahoy, all those. That's the only time that ever works.
So what you're saying is, rather than sending a cock shot, you should just send the eggplant emoji.
Sure, I actually think that would be funny. If you sent me an eggplant emoji, you would have my attention. I'd be like, all right, because this person is clever. They're not taking the whole genre seriously. It's a bit of a play. Then if you send me a peach or an eggplant, I'll talk to you. Oh my God, we're getting tons of peaches.
I know, yeah.
Please don't.
But as far as couple dating sites and things, no cock shots. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, no. I mean, again, it goes back to if that's the only thing special about you, you're not going to get my attention.
I mean, I tend to agree. I don't want to see a cock shot.
And it's interesting because there's some science trying to figure out why do guys do this. And the reason that I've seen that I like the best is it goes back to the peacock. It's just, they're just trying to get attention, and what they get off on, their kink, is the fact that they've sent that to you. And they know that you've seen it. So many apps, you have to open it up in order to see it. Once you've seen it, you can't unsee it. And so that's what they're...
So they're not looking for the reaction from you. They're just knowing that they've sent it to you and you've seen it.
Exactly. It's not much different than somebody wolf whistling at, from an air quotes construction site, as cliche as it sounds. Because again, how often does that work? Do men wolf whistle at a woman and then suddenly her clothes fall off and she pounces on them? No, that never, ever, ever happens.
It's just them looking good in front of their other people
But
around
it's that
them.
peacock effect. Yeah. I'm doing something to get attention, and that's it.
Interesting.
So, but don't do that, guys. You're better than that.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Well, I would flip that on its head as well for females and just say same thing with like a vagina shot.
Oh, gross.
Because we've seen so many of those, even on dating sites. People have them. It might be in their private albums that they share with you, but still, like if I see that, I'm like, that's not really what I want to. Like, I don't want to see that until I see it in person.
I'd rather see a picture with a woman's legs crossed, laying down, than a woman's legs splayed.
But again, it's the suggestion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's sexier than And especially if they have their fingers down there and spreading lips around. Like, gross. I don't need to see that. Like, I don't...
I wish people could see your face.
I just don't understand. And I guess that works for a small percentage of the people.
Yeah.
But I don't think that those are the people you're trying to catch.
That's not who we're trying to catch.
When you cast a net, first ask her if it's okay that you cast her. But when you cast a net, you know, I figure you're trying to catch the best thing that you can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah.
So that's our take on
That's our
pictures,
take on it.
dating profiles, sending pictures. Yeah, if you put it online, assume it's going to get out somewhere, somehow, someday. It likely won't, but there's always a possibility.
Yes. And in closing, two of my favorite shots that I've seen, both of myself and other people. For men, it's men wearing just jeans.
Yes.
And a simple white t-shirt. I think there is nothing sexier than a well-fit pair of jeans and a white t-shirt. Or if you want to get really risque, just the jeans, no shirt.
Yes, that's hot.
There's something so hot about that.
I don't know what it is, but there is something very hot about that.
But it has to be a well-fit pair of jeans. Don't get those baggy old jeans that, hey, I lost 10 kilos and I still wear the same fucking jeans and I have to tie a rope around my waist. You're not Huck Finn. But yeah, I think that's great. And for ladies, I'm just a sucker for something that looks comfortable. I love
yeah, we've talked about that, haven't we?
Yeah, I love just...
Like, that's your little
That's
fetish.
my thing.
Yeah.
Look comfortable. And I know that bras aren't comfortable, but if the bottoms look comfortable and you're wearing just a bra, I like that. That's very nice. It's very pretty. So yeah, those would be my 2 picks.
I feel like I need to make some more pictures for you.
I know!
Too bad everything's all packed up at the moment. I'd do it while you're gone this week.
Well, there's a bunch of hats over there and some hoodies.
Okay.
Like, honestly.
Does that count as comfortable?
That actually goes back to... I think there's something really sexy about a woman in a bra or no bra and a hoodie that's unzipped down to the cleavage. There's something really... Because, again, it's all about comfort. And if you're comfortable, then that means that you're comfortable with me around you. And I want to make you more comfortable. And, hey... That's fuzzy. I'm fuzzy. Let's be fuzzy. I don't know. So yeah, that's all I got. So we'll wrap this part up, and we're gonna do a quick break.
Yes.
And then we'll go to desire.
Join us on The Wet Coast, a podcast about sexuality and ethical non-monogamy of every variety. We talk polyamory and swinging, monogamish and open relationships, from dirty, dirty sex to heartbreak and everything in between. We share our personal experiences and philosophy, observations and theories, what works for us, and where we fucked it right up. This isn't your average couple's Explanabrag podcast, though we definitely do a little of that. We share our adventures in open with a unique, funny, feminist, and Canadian approach. Come get wet with us on The Wet Coast.
And welcome back. Now we're going to take you to desire.
Yes, grab a cocktail.
Yes, because we certainly had some.
If you like pina coladas, can't sing more of the song, 'cause I don't want to pay the royalties. It would be really nice if the guy who wrote it, his name was like Geelong.
Why?
Because then it rhymes.
Jesus. God. Right. So anyway, we're going to take you to desire. This was the segment that we recorded with Mr. and Mrs. H from the Bedhoppers UK.
Yay!
The gentleman.
Yay!
And ourselves.
Woohoo!
On the very last day, right before we checked out.
Yes.
So it was kind of our highlights, overviews, most memorable moments. I can't even
Easy
say
for
it.
you to say.
And yeah, so we'll just play that, and you'll get to hear a bit of all of our voices as we were packing up after a lovely, lovely week.
Woof. Who wants to start?
Well, I genuinely thought that was the most silent that we've been all week.
Speak for yourself. I was very silent for a couple of nights.
That's true.
I had like 7 hours
Yeah.
of silence.
7 hours of silence. It was bliss.
Sounds like a really shit art house film, doesn't it? 7 hours of silence. Pardon me.
So we have to check out in, let's see, 36 minutes.
Sad face.
Yeah.
Very sad face.
So sad.
So we don't have a lot of time.
But let's do a quick roundtable of your favorite moment of the week.
My favourite quote of the week is that at one point I heard, "You're fucking the cock out of my mouth."
That's a good one.
I did hear that one.
Yeah.
I believe that came out of Mrs. H's
You
mouth.
should make this into
Along
a
with
song.
something else.
Wait, the cock or the quote?
Yes, yes.
Fuck the cock right out of my mouth.
Which, by the way, Mrs. H, you're quite a good singer.
Yes.
Yes.
When I have a cock in my mouth?
Well, you mumble
Sure.
a little bit,
But you got up and sang at karaoke, and I was like, wow, where has this been hiding? Yeah.
Twice.
She has multiple talents.
I know.
Who knew?
I mean, she has shit taste in songs. That damn Pokemon song.
How dare you?
Gonna be the very best. Ugh. Did you know any of the words past the first two lines?
It was like muscle memory. It all came back to me.
Sung by characters from South Park.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you're very talented
Oh, thank you.
in many ways.
I think special is the phrase that we've all agreed on.
Yeah, you're special.
I can live with that.
Yes.
I'll take it. That's what you heard, isn't it? Take it many ways.
Bradford, your highlight?
You know, really, it's funny. I think there was a few. Well, look, I'm just gonna say there's a few people that I actually played with that I didn't think I would have the opportunity to play with, and those people are highlights. And I have a friend at home who often, Lolo lady, who often makes fun of me and says that she can tell my type because they're usually shorter than me, big eyes, typically dark hair. I don't know what it is about you, Mrs. H. But you still fall into this category of the Disney princess. And I had managed to play with a few Disney princesses this week. Yeah, it was really nice. It was fun.
Yeah.
Angela?
For me, I think it was not necessarily one specific event or time, but catching up and having a lot of chats and talks and spending time with people that I think are really good people, really special people, and I think just remaking those connections, because many of them we knew from last year, some new ones of course, but I think just some of those connections that I feel like we're able to really deepen, and I think that was really special for me.
I think it's really funny that yours was very clearly sex related. Mine was very clearly sex related. And Angela was like, I just like making friends. I also like bouncing on them in naughty ways. She left that part out.
Actually, one specific event highlight for me was making the Love is Art.
Oh my god, that was fun.
That was fun. And
That was something else.
Yeah, because should we talk about that, or do we
think-
want to say
Yeah.
Yeah, let's
Just
talk
mention
about
it.
that.
Okay.
It seems like a good...
Yeah, so Bradford and I brought 2 Love is Art kits, which for people out there who don't know what that is, it's a kit where you get a drop cloth, plastic drop cloth to put down, and then you get a canvas that you lay down, then you have paint that you can spread on the canvas or on your shelves. We spread it on the canvas. And then the idea is that you roll around, you have sex, you play, whatever, and spread the paint around using your bodies. And so we got 2 of those. We dextered up the room and spread them out on the bed, and then spread the paint out. So the 2 canvases covered the bed just perfectly, really. And then the 4 of us got on and we rolled around and played and had a lot of giggles, a lot of laughs, and yeah, that was fun.
Well, that was pretty fun because I got to see the end result of all that, not just the art, which actually turned out pretty well, but the 4 of you walking around the resort covered in paint.
And it's interesting that you say that because when we first started out, it was I don't remember whose idea it was originally to wash off in the ocean. It was like,
I'm going to claim that.
Okay,
I'm going to claim it.
I think
Yes.
it might have been you.
I would definitely believe that. But part of me was like, no, I don't really want to show off that we're doing this.
Well, I thought we were going to run to the beach and then come back and all have lots of sexy times.
Well, I think that's probably what I thought as well.
But what I hadn't gathered on was how much fun it was parading around as a group, just looking like we've been rolling around in muck for 40 minutes.
Well, the beach is a 2-minute walk
Yeah,
east,
yeah.
and you ended up walking the entire length of the resort, upstairs to the hot tub, and
It was a good conversation.
We encircled the whole resort, but what happened was we happened upon someone who was out on the beach practicing
Boy?
Spinny things.
Yeah, the spinny things. Boy, yeah.
Maybe? Yeah.
And it was just interesting that she was like, you should definitely go upstairs.
Yeah.
Show it off. It's like, people, you are performing, people want to receive the performance kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, cool, alright, we can do this.
Yeah.
And so we did. And it was amazing.
What I loved about that is that though we all rocked up and we got to the beach and people were asking us and they were very curious about what was going on and what we were wearing and all this kind of stuff. Or what we were wearing. Why we were covered in black
Yes,
stuff.
exactly.
But then one of us would tell a joke and then that joke would live on and be expanded with each consecutive person that we spoke to
Yes.
throughout the course of it, with each one of us telling that joke in a slightly different way and embellishing it.
Yes.
First it was a crime scene, then it was something else.
Then it was the seasons 2 through 7 of Dexter.
Yes.
And then when pegging goes wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, which coined the phrase "love is shart."
Yeah.
Although technically that was the following morning when I had a dodgy tummy, but it would have worked on the day as well.
Yeah. That was fun. I think that was definitely a big highlight.
Yeah,
Sure.
that was
If we're-
so much fun.
Specific event, yeah.
Alright, and you, Mrs. H?
Miss H?
All right, I have too many to just distill it down into one, so I'm going to use an underlying theme of humour. So for me,
Okay.
I have laughed so much. I've laughed actual tears on so many occasions this holiday. Generally at the expense of Bradford, taking the piss out of me, but fine.
Touche.
If it makes him happy.
Well, clearly it makes you happy too.
I think I recall one morning at the bar, we were just on our way through to get breakfast, as we do normally, just like toddle along. And inevitably we get cornered and sit down. And then he gave me a Bailey's coffee, which was amazing. And then we had one of the funniest conversations I think we've ever had, where he was crying actual tears.
That's the conversation that started with, you said, what are you drinking? I said, coffee with Baileys. And you, as you do, heard Baileys. And it was one of those big clear mugs, and it looked like Baileys. You're like, you're drinking the whole mug of Baileys! But why would you do that?
Is it hot?
I did ask if it was hot Baileys. But then the improv lesson that you gave me.
Oh my gosh. So, yes, and I just did it. Yes, and.
Yes, and.
That's right, because I was trying to explain to you in improv, it's always yes, and, yes, and, yes, and. And you looked at me and went, but wait, who's Anne? And I think that's probably when I lost it.
I think you were like spitting at Baileys as you were talking.
There's been a number of just pure comedy moments, and
Yeah.
I think yesterday we all shared one where we all jumped into this giant inflatable unicorn in the
But
pool.
enduring memory
The
of
pool of,
Bradford beating off a unicorn.
Bradford was getting dominated by the unicorn.
Well, let's take a step back and say, first of all, Char Travel, who puts this event together, they brought this, it is a giant, it's like a 70-pound inflatable unicorn for the pool.
Yeah.
But
Like
it got a hole in it. So
40
they
kilos, it's huge.
Yeah, so they tried to duct tape it or tape it together, whatever, this hole. And it worked okay-ish, but the poor thing was leaking air, and so it's kind of like, it's got a floppy little neck and a floppy little tail, and you kind of sink into the middle.
And of course we rock up as our delightful famous five, and the pool is empty apart from this dying unicorn sort of sailing on the pool. So the gentleman leaps into it head first. I start pulling him along the pool in this fucking great big unicorn. And then one by one, we all jump in, apart from Mrs. H, who took 5 minutes deciding as to whether she was going to get in the second unicorn. And we paddled over. And it's not an easy thing to navigate, but between the gentleman, Bradford and I, we paddled our way over there. And Mrs. H leaps from the side. And bear in mind, it's like half a centimetre away from the side.
Bear in mind I was holding a chocolate ice cream.
Yes. She lands on the side, is there for half a second, and then just disappears out the back. And she comes back into the water backwards, and she comes back up, and all she's got is the remnants of the crumbs left of the ice cream in her mouth, which is obviously very soggy now. She's lost the gentleman's sunglasses, which he demanded that she could have, and I'm like, "Are you okay?" So I rush over, and she's going, "No," and I'm like, "Are you all right?" "No," and she goes, "I lost my ice cream."
This is your face as you're falling off the slide of the unicorn. My God, it's one of those memories that I'll never forget. It's just, oh, I'm in a spot of bother. And down you went.
So there's my highlight. Humour.
And there was a lot of it. That's right.
I laughed so much this week.
Oh my God. Oh,
Well,
Right.
typically mine is sexual, of course.
of course.
all your sexual conquests.
Yeah,
Lived
so
up to the name Slutterella.
and we've changed your name now to Slayer.
Yes. Yeah, it was a busy week. But my highlight was it was both the actual event and then also people talking to me about the event afterwards, which was the electro play that was done to me in the dungeon on the dungeon night.
Yeah.
That I wanted to push myself to the next level of, threshold of where I could play at, and there was a lovely gentleman up there who took me there, and that was brilliant. It was really, really fun. But afterwards, it got to a point where I couldn't control it, but he took me to a point where I was just giggling hysterically.
I would have said spontaneous, maniacal laughter.
Right. Yeah. In the meanwhile, there was another woman who was on the St. Andrew's Cross getting gang whipped.
Yes.
And she was screaming blue bloody murder. So it was screaming, ah! And then,
So there was also a woman getting in a wax play scene who was having and dangling who was having an orgasm at the same time. So if you were really astute of hearing, you could hear the whack, scream, moan, laughter, whack, scream, moan, whack, scream, moan. It was like, wow.
All the wonderful sounds of a dungeon.
yeah.
What I particularly enjoyed after that, though, is that you managed to convince Mrs. H that you were still electrically charged, and that by touching your nipples, she may actually receive a shock.
I didn't realize that.
Did you not? It happened in the hot tub. And he's like, my nipples are like still tingling, and he told me all about the electroplay. And then it's like, well, if you touch them, it will give you a small static charge.
And she ran away.
I was chasing her in the hot tub.
With his nipples. Oh my God. I said it was like one of those bath toys that have like little conductors on the bottom. And I'm scared of those anyway. And I was
Shocker.
Like, but you're literally. But I was like, your nipples are the same. If I touch them, and it all goes with me.
Oh my God. I absolutely love that.
We've saved that nugget for you for the end.
That is so great. So any other thoughts and like what are our chances for next year?
I fully understand now why you were organising the trip on the last day of the last year you were here. I fully understand why. And I mean, really, I think it was the second or third day that I was here. I was trying to put together a plan in my head of how I can make this happen again.
Yeah. And it's funny how you do that, because I was already doing that on Wednesday as well. And it's like, all right, maybe if we stopped eating one day a week, if we fasted for a full day each week, maybe we could use that.
Hang on, was Wednesday the karaoke night?
It was... No.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
Because I was going to say, I think we put enough people off ever coming back to this place when you and I sang together.
Yes, but then when I sang with the other people, I think that was enough to say we should start paying more.
Yes, exactly. Separately, fine.
You two were brilliant.
Together, car crash. Your car crash.
I think you just needed to choose a better song.
I think
maybe one that you both knew. Because it sounded like it was just a randomised song that came
They've
up.
sung that song together before without the aid of a karaoke backing track, and it was beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
When we went spelunking.
But admittedly, they
Is that
didn't
what they're
get.
calling it nowadays?
Also, though, when spelunking, they did not get all the way through to the high parts.
I can hit the high parts, but I honestly didn't. Number one, didn't like the key that was in.
Okay.
I know I'm a diva, but I didn't like the key with that song was in. And also, what I didn't like was the fact that they didn't delineate who was singing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Confusing.
and that was really odd because I'm very used to singing that song. I've done that on SingStar and a number of other things before, and it clearly tells you what is
When to
that
sing,
one
yeah.
part and what is the next part. So when I sang my bit, I'm like, oh, it's not changed, and I'm carrying on singing, and it's getting higher and higher and higher, and I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm hitting this, and then it descended into just madness.
So basically, what you're saying is that it was a bad karaoke track, not you guys.
Well,
Yeah.
I also think that it was so the song. If anybody's listening out there, it was A Whole New World. And what I wanted to do was sing A Whole New World from the movie, and that felt like the Peebo Bryson, Regina Belle, which
Yes.
is a much higher song than it is in the movie.
Yeah.
But I will make the very solid point that it was up to Mr. H to put our names in the thing, so he chose that song. So it's all his fault.
You betrayer!
And the bus comes through. Wow.
And all I'm saying is I sung with a Disney princess, it went amazingly.
Yeah.
I sung with another Disney princess, it went amazingly. I sing with a Disney prince, and we went straight to hell.
But we managed to pull it back because I did dance with you.
That's right.
That's
Yes.
And we caused a better crowd dancing together than we did singing
Did you
together.
hear the people cheering for
Yes!
us as we were dancing?
Yeah.
Great.
That's because you'd stopped singing.
This was on a different night, you cunt.
They all blurred into one for you.
Like, honestly, a lot of it has.
What do you know? You were probably having sex somewhere.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, you were passing out tickets to Pound Town like it wasn't funny.
Yes, well, I received a few rounds of applause myself. These are hot subjects.
God. Yeah, because suddenly he stopped.
Thank you, I'm here all week.
But getting one of those
Try the
deli
meal.
counter number things was a stroke of genius. Could number 52 come up, please?
Now serving 52, 52, now serving 52.
So that's the second time that's come up in the last 2 days, like one of those take a number things.
Yeah.
I really feel like we need to bring one of those for the hot tub beds next year.
That would be good.
Because there were a few scenarios that they could have been very useful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now I'm thinking for a costume somehow that I want to
yeah.
have an LED number and a ticket
and
thing down near my
Ticket
nose.
dispenser.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's
We're going to have to work on this.
Yeah, I could foresee that in a future costume. Oh my god, that's so much fun. Any negatives?
I think so. Day one, I got officially cunted.
It's the official British term.
Yeah.
Got cunted,
Very
yeah.
true. That
For
was,
being
And-
drunk.
I was going to say, for people who don't know what that means, yes.
Yeah.
He was very wasted.
Very
drunk.
I was fine. This is great.
Cunted.
I'm going to fall asleep in the hot tub.
and drown.
Yes, that was pretty much my thing. And I think there was also a bit of... it took us a day or so to get into the fluidity of the way that this works when the Swingset are here. And it's very affectionate, it's very nice, and a kiss can just be a kiss, and all that sort of stuff was quite different to what we're used to. So I think we had a little bit of a, what
An
the hell?
adjustment period, yeah.
And then by the next morning, we'd adjusted quite
And that's
quickly.
pretty natural, I feel
Yeah.
like. Yeah.
And then, because we like to have balance, then Mrs. H got hunted, which also went to an
As
almost
cunted.
Yes.
Favourite.
She caught it in time.
Look, I think that we should go through this one more time and make it permanent so that
Yes.
everybody out there in podcast land can hear it. I think my favorite Mrs. H moment of the week.
And there's been
Second
many.
favorite because it was my cock that was getting fucked out of her mouth. Great. Second favorite moment was her looking at me and pointing at me with a very sure finger and saying, "I have self-diagnosed myself as inebriated. And I went, oh my God. You tell Angela what you just told me. And so she spins around the long way to get to Angela.
Like 340 degrees.
Yeah. When she could have just turned slightly to the left. And she goes, I have self-diagnosed myself as inebriated.
And the whole
But
time
I
she has
caught
that,
it just in time.
and the whole time she has that little head waggle.
The other bit, that because further to that moment, actually just before that moment, the gentleman and I were looking after Mrs. H while she was having I'm pointing to it, but you can't see it, podcast people. She was having a bite of pizza. So I went to drop our costumes off in the room. And I returned, and Mrs. H was leaning on the bar with her hand, sort of her elbow on the bar, holding a slice of pizza, as if she was going to eat it. And as I got closer, I realised that she'd actually fallen asleep. And then she woke up, realised that someone could see that she'd been asleep, and took a bite of pizza as if to say, no, I wasn't sleeping.
Seamless. No one ever knew.
Yeah.
Seamless.
What we do now.
To quote a favourite podcaster of mine, no one has ever been this clever.
I don't think anyone's noticed.
Except by that point, the pizza was really cold.
I have to say, there is one other moment that I do want to mention. And that's when we were all really lucky enough to get time together and have some sexy times.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And midway through these sexy times, there is a knock at the door.
Housekeeping!
So there was this look around of who is going to get it. And I think Bradford sensed that it was him that was going to have to go and...
I was the only one that currently wasn't balls deep in something.
I was going to say, I think Mrs. H and I were both pinned, so...
Yes.
Yeah.
Look, Angela, your feet were parallel to the ceiling. And your knees were somewhere around your ear holes. Yeah. So I walk up and open the door. That's like, 5-6 centimeters. Like, oh, hello, sorry, forgot to put this out. She's like, okay, I'll clean it later. And then she starts giggling because she looks past me and sees this massive bodies and like, why is that poor lady's feet pointing straight to the ceiling?
But we're trying to keep so quiet. That's the thing. We're sort of looking at each other just like... But all the way... So I'm wearing at this point a cock ring that is vibrating. So there's this silent hum that's just... Yeah.
And it's like, what most people don't realize is, housekeeping's vision is based on movement. They're like Tyrannosaurus Rex. If we don't move, she can't see us.
just clean up around us. We'll just keep going.
You might want to bring more people to help them.
And as soon as the door closes, it's like the Pound Town train just gets
Go.
Oh my god.
And as a side note, we did leave a pretty good tip that day.
Yeah.
Yeah, but just the tip.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that was pretty good. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good. That poor lady. Scarred for life. Scarred.
I will say that if we're talking negatives, I will say that's probably the one negative that I do have is that we're in a different room this year than we were last year. It's a great room, but last year our room was generally cleaned at like 10:30 in the morning while we were eating breakfast. We would leave for breakfast, they would come clean the room. It was first thing, it was done.
You'd come back after breakfast.
Yeah, and everything was good.
Clean.
But this year, because of, I think, where we are kind of along their cleaning path, our room doesn't get cleaned until sometimes late afternoon.
Yeah.
And at that point, we're wanting to bring people back. We're wanting to have sexy times. And so the timing was a little bit weird a few days as to, like, is our room going to be cleaned? Is it not? Are they going to come in while we're having sex?
No, we've had to bring people back to the room to have sex.
Yeah.
Because I've just been having sex all over the place.
Well, we have too. Yeah.
Dear God.
I didn't know that was an option.
Sir, this is a maintenance closet.
These are the toilets, gentlemen, the toilets!
Yeah, I mean, we have too, but still there's times where you want a little bit more privacy, like when it was all of us. And so I will say that was my only real negative was just the timing of our room getting cleaned was a little bit later than what I would consider convenient.
I think they figured out when we were going back to our room to get changed for costumes, and there must have been 6 people that turned up to offer us towels. So in the end, they wouldn't take no. So we had a stack of about 10 towels on our floor. I'm like, okay, great. Yeah, we'll have more. Fine. It's just easier to say yes. And I'm like, you're doing a great job. Thank you very much.
Oh, and the little chocolates. They kept coming in with the towels and like stacking up
what
these
you didn't know was that we kept calling them and requesting pals to be sent to your room.
Thank you.
With the little chocolates.
Yeah. We never got chocolates.
We got chocolates. We got body oil.
Yeah.
We did get a random bottle of champagne, which I'm not sure.
Yeah, we did as well.
We had one of those
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
But last night we had little body oils, didn't we? Tied up with a little ribbon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We didn't get that.
That's because we didn't traumatise them in our room. We traumatised them in your room.
They're too scared to come in the room.
In fact, we went to everyone else's room, I think. We kept ours
I
fairly...
don't think we.
Maybe that's why. They're like, thank you. I don't have to pick up straight condoms off the wall.
I think we've only had one couple came into our room just to say hello.
Just for a chat.
And return something that we'd left in their room. We're like, this feels invasive. We just go to other people's rooms.
Typical British. Yep. This room is now ours.
Yeah. We have colonised it. It's ours.
There's a bed hopper sticker on there.
Well, no, it's a bed hopper fucking temporary tattoo.
Also, the stickiest tattoos known to man.
I have seen so many bed hopper tramp stamps. And I'm wondering if you just like wet them and put them on while people are sleeping on the beach.
There was one funny moment that I had during some sexy times where I mean, everybody's naked anyway, but I was up on the hot tub beds, and we were in the spa to begin with, flirting, kissing. I said, okay, we need to move this over to the beds. We went over to the beds, and I put her in a doggy style position, and there was a bed hopper's tramp stamp.
Did you come on it? Did
Sorry?
you come on it?
No.
Oh.
Damn it, someone got there before you.
The race was on. How many people? That's the next thing. How many people can we tattoo before you get there? It's like a loyalty scheme. If you get all six tattoos, then you earn a prize.
We do still have a sheet to give away.
We do. We have one sheet left,
We'll wait till someone's gently sleeping on a lounge.
and then we're going to put all 20 tattoos on one sheet.
Oh my god. Alright, so any final thoughts in these last few minutes? Yeah, that seems that big size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be a difficult thing to get over, and I don't think last time we went on a Desire Adventure that we quite realised the drop.
Yeah.
Just wearing clothes again.
And then we got that, and then we saw you guys in Australia, and that was even worse. So it's just so difficult because you meet so many amazing people, and yes, you do go forth and you do take all this stuff with you. I get all that, but actually, the real moments when you sit down, and you get on the plane, and you're like, "Fuck me, I'm so fucking sad," and that happens. So I think we're very lucky as a group because we all stay in touch and we all chat very, very regularly. But for me, it's the fact that actually that's a real validation of how awesome people are, especially you guys, and how many connections you make during these times. So it's a very happy sad in that way, but it's also a very difficult moment. So
it's a happy sad, but sometimes that makes it harder.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that is the thing too. I mean, there are a lot of American people here that they meet each other here, and then they can have a bit of a connection and maybe drive or see each other throughout the year. And I have felt very isolated to that point because there are a lot of people that I hope to stay in touch with, but then I know there's no possibility that there's going to be a weekend where we're free. That even I've heard people driving for 6 hours to go and see someone, and some of the people here, I would probably do that for the weekend. But there's no possibility of that. So I'm waiting for that to kind of hit me, and like you say, it'll probably hit me on the plane or.
Well, so I will
maybe
say,
I walk in the front door, at home.
It's not unheard of because the bed hoppers came down to visit us in Australia. We had a Rotter. He came down to visit us in Australia. I mean, so people do come down. Australia is a big destination spot.
Yeah.
And I know I've talked to a couple of people this week who want to come down to Australia for work. And so the good side note to that is they'll be able to see us. So there is that hope.
Yeah.
It just may not be as frequent
it's just not as easy.
not as easy.
Cool. Well, sadly, we have 6 minutes officially before we have to check out, and there's still luggage that needs to be. I know.
No.
So I guess for by the by, we've got the gentleman here and gorgeous Angela. I'll sign off and.
I'll let Mrs. H do a thing.
Oh, good.
What thing?
There you go.
That one, the one closing thing that you've done on 59 episodes of our podcast, that it's only you that does it.
Well, thank you for hopping into our bed.
I want to go back. Take me back.
Me too.
There's no place like desire. There's no place like desire. There's no place. Damn it! I'm still here.
Keep clicking those heels.
Yeah, that was so much fun. It was good to listen to that again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would highly suggest people out there going to Desire. So I know people are like, oh, Bradford, where's the live podcast you recorded at Desire?
Uh-huh.
You're going to have to wait for that.
Yep.
We're still working on it.
We're not going to share that immediately. We're going to save that for, when we need a reminder of Desire's loveliness.
When we're desperate for that reminder. English is just suddenly hard for me. Sorry. So Angela's currently got in her grubby little hands these bourbon creams. They were gifts from some of our friends at Desire. They gave them to us. They're little chocolates that I think are full of bourbon.
Yes.
And now all I can think about are these chocolates.
Yeah, bourbon creams. They're Boone County Distilling Company.
Oh my God.
And there's 5 little chocolates in here.
And we're going to have to arm wrestle for each of them.
Yeah, we are.
I'm gonna
They're
die.
amazing. Well, I'm hoping they're amazing. I haven't had one yet, but they smell good.
I can smell the bourbon
I know.
from here. I'm really stoked for this. So we're gonna.
So this is going to remind us of Desire as we eat these and our friends there.
Are we gonna open it? Are we gonna do it on
Oh,
the
we
podcast?
can. I was going to wait, but sure, let's do it.
Well, while you listen to us, so if you have ASMR, wait, ASMR isn't a disease.
No,
if
it's
you
not.
like ASMR, you're gonna hear us.
Mine's unwrapped. I was faster.
I was talking. I can't
can't
do two
talk
things.
and unwrap at the
I'm a
same
boy. I can't do two things at once. You're gonna hear us munching on this, but oh my God. You just crammed the whole thing in there.
Then it pops.
Okay. If you can get your hands on some bourbon creams from Boone County, please send them our way.
Oh, those are good.
Man, they are. There's 5 of them. We're gonna fight over the last one.
Maybe we'll just bite it in half, Lady and the Tramp style.
Ooh, I could put it in your vagina and eat it out.
No, sugar.
Oh, damn. Yes, dear? So, we'll clean it out with real bourbon then. I'm joking. We don't do this. Please don't do that at home. That is not healthy.
A bourbon douche.
Actually, that does sound kind of hot. I'm weird, but the idea of you sitting on my face after injecting bourbon into your vagina really kind of turns me on.
Oh, this sounds like Rule 34.
It does. Can we? Is that healthy or is that unhealthy? Is that bad for is bourbon kill all the fauna?
It's really not great.
It's low in sugar. Oh my God! Like single barrel 4 roses. Back to reality. Sorry, folks. So. Look, I've lost it completely.
You've lost it.
Yeah. Go, if you want some sex toys, not bourbon creams, but if you want sex toys, go to adamandeve.com. We have a special code with them, by the by, BYTHEBI, that'll get you 50% off of a select item, one of your items in your cart. So you'll also get a bunch of free stuff that they throw into the basket for you. Free sex toys for him, for her, for them, for everyone in the room. They'll throw that in the box as well. Mm-hmm. Then you'll also get 6 of their videos on demand. So we always say, pay for your porn. This is porn you don't have to pay for because somebody's giving it to you. And that's exciting as well. And then lastly, and most importantly, free fucking shipping. We've gotten some Instagram stories of folks that have gotten some amazing toys.
I love to see what people get.
Get. And it's great to see.
Yeah.
So definitely go to adamandeve.com. Definitely use the code by to get all their free shit. And please tag us on all of the socials and show us what you got. Show me what you got. Sorry. Also, were you going to do the next one? Because you look like you had something to say. I can. Go ahead, do it.
So the other place you can get toys from.
Awesome, amazing toys.
GeekySexToys.com.
swingset.com.
Yes, so they have nice, geeky, nerdy sex toys. A lot of fun, good variety of toys there. It's really, really fun things. And in fact, I think we're due a shipment, because last shipment we took everything to Desire and gave it away.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. We need to go back.
Yeah.
There's a few things that they want, and I know. So they recently posted a video on the Twitterverse of them designing a new toy, and I was
cool.
like, I can't tell what it is yet, but it looks amazing. I'm pretty sure it might be the Aqua Dick from Hellboy.
Okay.
Kind of excited.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see what comes out. So yeah, if you want to get your hands on a geeky sex toy, go to www.geekysextoys.com and use the coupon code BYTHEBY for a cheeky little discount. And if you want to post pictures of what you buy on there, we got a message earlier from somebody who bought something.
Yes!
And we'd love to see it.
Yes.
Yeah.
He may or may not have purchased a master sword. So pretty excited for that. Yes, definitely. If you want to send us your questions, comments, and rude remarks, please email us, theatomsoflove@gmail.com, or any of our Insta faces and Twitterverses. We are at By the By Podcast on all of our socials. We would definitely appreciate you giving us a follow, and also shooting us a message. We got some messages that we need to respond to, and some upcoming podcasts that we need to do. So if you are in Sydney, check out the opening of the new Our Secret Spot in Annandale.
November 30th.
Yes, that's Saturday.
Yeah.
Literally Saturday. As of this past weekend, as of Sunday, which is today, they are 90% sold out.
Oh, wow.
Yes, so
it's such a great venue. We had a cheeky little walk through, a sneak peek, if you will, and I am so excited to see it. We will definitely be there for sure. Definitely
be there. We're really excited. So if you're there, you see us, come up, run up, give us a hug, say hi. I'm so excited. But if you haven't gotten your ticket yet, you better get it now, because
they're going to sell out.
Wednesday, they will be sold out, and it's a fire code thing, so they can't let more people in. But it's going to be
safety first.
Yep, cool. We'll see you this weekend.
Thanks for joining us.
Hi, this is Dedeker, co-host of the Multiamory podcast. We offer new ideas and advice for multiple forms of love. Everything from conscious monogamy to ethical polyamory and radical relationship anarchy. And you're listening to a Swingset Network podcast. Find us and much more at swingset.fm.